All right, so we're going to get into our second day of working with slope. And so we're going to just do a little bit more exploring of slope. So our first thing is I just want to talk about some trends. So we've talked about what it looks like if an interval is increasing, right? And that's that it's going up from left to right. And so when we have these types of lines that go up from left to right, and again, it's any line that's going up from left to right, any of these lines have a positive slope. And then we also talked about decreasing. So if we have a line that has a decreasing slope, so meaning from left to right, it is going down, whatever the severity of it may be, as long as from left to right it's going down, this is what we call a negative slope. So we had increasing, decreasing, we also had a constant. And so that's where we had the flat, that one wasn't quite flat, but where our line just went straight across. And those constant intervals, those had what we call a zero slope, because they weren't rising any, they were just running. And so 0 divided by anything is 0. And then we have one more type of slope that we haven't talked about, and that is our undefined slope. And so a slope is undefined when it is a vertical line. Ooh, I wish I could draw better today, and that didn't help. All right, so when we have vertical lines, maybe I'll do it just pieced together here. All right, so when we have these vertical lines, those are undefined slopes, because what this is saying is that we have a vertical number, right? We have a rise, but we don't have a run, and we can't divide by 0. That's an absolute no-go, because you can't take something and then split it into nothing. So anytime we have these vertical lines, those are considered undefined, and that's where we have a number divided by 0. A constant is when we have 0 divided by a number. So those are just things to keep in mind as we go through these next several lessons. So the next thing I'm going to talk to you about is differing scales. And I kind of mentioned this in a previous video, but I want to make sure that we explicitly talk about it. So we always want to look at the scale of or the intervals being used on our axis. So our x, like when I look at this, our x is technically going by 1.5, because every 2 boxes is 3. So every 2 boxes we have 3, and then when we look at our y-axis, every box is 10, because every 2 boxes is 20, right? And so when I look at finding my rise and my run, when I do the counting, I'm not counting it as 1 box. That 1 box represents 10. And my run, and the other way I can look at it is, what's the distance from 9 to 15? Well, that's a run of 6. And so that's where we're getting the 10 and the 6, and then 10 and 6 are divisible by 2, so we get an answer of 5/3. If I were looking at the same graph just to count using squares, then I would come up with 1/4, which is not the same. And so that's where we have to just be careful, making sure that we're counting the interval and not just the boxes. All right, so this is just pay heed to the warning. So that being said, let's work on a graph with intervals. Now with this one, technically I'm going to be okay because my intervals are the same. They both go by 25. The other thing I want to talk about on this graph is notice there are no points given to us. And there's no dots on the graph for us. I know that there would be a dot here at the beginning, maybe if my stylus will let me draw it, and there's a dot here at the end. So I can go that far. If I'm trying to find a shorter distance away, what I'm looking for is where my line crosses at whole numbers. And so I notice right here, my blue line is crossing at, I like to call them the four corners, right? It goes through my four corners that create that coordinate point. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not going to just pick a random point like this point here because I'm not sure what my y value is there. I know my x value, but I don't know my y value. I'm not going to pick, excuse me, they don't really have one on here where we have y but not sure what x is. So again, I'm just wanting to pick where my point crosses at the four corners, or if you want to get some supernatural about it, is crossing at the crossroads. So, and then from here I'm going to find my slope. So each box is 25. I know that because 2 boxes is 50, so half of 50 is 25. So this is going to be 25. And then it's the same going across here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I know that that's 100. 1, 2, 50. So my rise is a negative 25 because we went down 25. And my run is 150. And then I'm going to do 25. What goes into both 25 and 150? Well, 25 does, so I'm going to get a negative 1 over, and then it goes into 150 6 times. So I get a negative 1 over 6. Now, if you notice, that is what we have here. 1 down and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But the reason that one works for us is because the intervals are the same. It would not work if our intervals are different. Like on this one, for example, you need to hire a DJ for a party, and the DJ charges an initial fee plus an hourly rate. The graph shows the relationship between the cost and the time. So we're wanting to find what is the DJ's hourly rate, which means what's the rate of change. So I'm going to start here at this point right here. I know that that point is 0, 200. And then I'm going to follow my blue line and see where it crosses. Oh, there's a point where it crosses at the four corners. The other one I could choose is back here. It crosses at four corners. I'm going to go ahead and go with 2, and then each of these, 2 is 100, so 1 is 50. So we've got 2, 350. Now, what I can do is when I have points, I can use y minus y over x minus x. And so when I do that, I'm going to start with 200 minus, nope, let's make this positive. And I know that I can make it positive because that slope's a positive slope. So let's go 350 minus 200 is y minus y over x, which is 2 minus 0. And again, remember that whichever point I pull from first for the y's is what I should pull from first for the x's. So 350 minus 200 is 150. 2 minus 0 is 2. And then 150 divided by 2 is, what would that be, 7, so 14, 10, 75. So I get $75. Now I could check and see if the same thing happens when I count. So this would be 1, 2, 3, right, which is 150. And each 2 is 1. So my run is 2. So then we get 150 divided by 2 which equals $75. So again, as long as I'm keeping track of my interval, then my counting it is perfectly fine. Or you can pull 2 points and do y minus y over x minus x. In the next video, we're going to talk about finding slope from graphs and how to use that and comparing slope. So, until then.